Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astro Guide myself. Today, I will complete this particular point on Ketu in the sixth house and how actually it manifests in the chart of a native. So, sixth house we know it is Ripu, Runa, Roga, service, competitiveness, and many other things, their fear, intimidation, and all those things. But most important is Ripu, Runa, Roga. Ripu means enemies, Runa means loans, and Roga means having diseases or illnesses. So when Ketu is strongly posited in the sixth house, the person is selfless. This is a fantastic position of Ketu. One of the strongest positions of Ketu or Rahu, because Ketu's strongest position is in the 12th. But sixth house also, when Ketu is posited, it makes the person very good in thinking capabilities. The person will be he will be a solution provider. So he will not be like very selfless solution providers. Who are they? They are good advocates, psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors. So all advisors, people who come as mediators, these people are good to the society because they want to keep things in harmony. So it's like they talk and try to solve things out rather than going into unnecessary conflicts. So this is a good position of Ketu. So if it is strong, in its strong means people are asking me what is a strong Ketu, what is a strong Rahu. It has to be in its own sign. For Rahu, Aquarius is regarded as its own sign. For Ketu, Scorpio is regarded as its own sign. And the exaltation positions of Rahu, Mrigashira Nakshatra, let us take it. And for Ketu, half of Jyeshtha Nakshatra and half of Mula Nakshatra, we can take that. So that particular range where Ketu is strong and that particular range where Rahu is strong. And all those nakshatras which are pertaining to Ketu is good for Ketu, and all those nakshatras pertaining to Rahu is good for Rahu. So when Rahu is posited in Swati Nakshatra, it's obviously good because it's in its own nakshatra. Hasta, Chitta, Swati. Swati pertains to Rahu. Shatabisha pertains to Rahu. Ardra pertains to Rahu. So when Rahu is placed in Ardra, Swati, Shatabisha, fantastic. It's a strong Rahu. So when Ketu is posited in Ashwini, Makha and Mula, it's a very strong Ketu. So, and also Ketu is like Kujavat Ketu. So when it is placed in Kuja means Mars. So as Mars is Ketu, as Saturn is Rahu, Shanivat Rahu. Kujavat Ketu, Shanivat Rahu is as Mars is Ketu, as Saturn is Rahu in a certain perspective, not fully. If it was full, then we would have called it Saturn 1, Saturn 2, but it is different because it's totally different actually. But that length, the most of the behavior looks like that. So strong Ketu in the sixth house, they do not have or they have very less illness and diseases. They are actually mukta, that is, they are free from diseases. So they will have very less competition, easy loans, they can repay their loans very well, and they have no enemies. So now if it is a weak Ketu, it doesn't mean that they will not they will have a lot of enemies, but it's like a weak Ketu means that they get intimidated, they are going to fear, they are very timid, they do not unnecessarily, they can't even defend themselves in certain situations. It's a difficult thing. But if it is a malefic Ketu, they unnecessarily will go themselves and get locked up into situations and conflicts. So they don't keep silent when it is not required, and they spark issues, and the number of enemies will start getting, people who don't like them. So that conflicting thing will start increasing. You don't like your own colleagues, you don't like your own subordinates or your boss. So this happens with a bad Ketu in the sixth house. So they eat less, a normal Ketu, they eat less, They prefer to have light food, and they are very, choosy. So, and they like natural food rather than going into too much of extravagant, dressing and all this, too much of unnecessary pungent taste. So these people like bland, normal, simple taste. So if it is weak, then children with that particular placement get bullied at school, and that continues, and they get into inferiority complex, fear, OCD, problems in job, suiting themselves to new, adapting themselves to new situations. It will be difficult for them. They go through humiliations, problems through maternal uncle because it's the sixth house. But nothing of this sort will happen if it is a strong Ketu. So there should not be usually any issue in marital life when Ketu is in the sixth house, until unless there is another planet associated with it. Once a planet gets associated with the Ketu in the sixth house, that planet in its Dasha Bhukti or in its transit will create problem to the seventh house, which is for relationship and marriage and married life. So these people love animals, they love all creatures, they respect every life. So they do not, they have pets, they can become zookeepers, they can be very good in rescuing operations, they can be veterinary science, doctors in veterinary science, they can be very good surgeons for, veterinary science, they can be into a lot of other things like wildlife, they can get into herpetology for snakes. So they, particularly reptiles, they love them. So if it is weak Ketu, then these people will fear from animal bite. There is a chance that they can get inflicted by stings, bee stings, poisonous stings, even poisonous, insects or plants. They get into allergies. So a weak Ketu with a weak planet like Moon, Mercury, they get into a lot of pollen allergy, breathing allergies, asthmatic problems, so many things. So I will not get into the intricacies of combinations as on date, because I have started Sun Mars, so I am going ahead. So I will be coming with Sun Jupiter in the next few classes. So that particular series will catch up speed once the Ketu thing is finished. So they are very good at their job. They are very good at service. They are good at foreign languages. They are good at transcription. Transcripts. They are very good at translations. They can be very good translators. So these are aptitudes which are very rarely found in many other, through other planets. Ketu, they go into depth for everything and every aspect of life. So this planet gives them the strength to live far away, alone, in a unknown land, suit or get into, mingle with people there, learn their language, become one among them, and start your life. These people are very strong people. So even Rahu in the sixth house, alone and strong, very, very strong people. So that is the best position for Rahu. In the sixth, alone and strong. Ketu, alone and strong in the 12th, the number one position for Ketu. Anyway, thank you very much for today's class. I think it was short and crisp. Thank you.